What's up, everybody? And today we have a 96 Nissan pickup. Is the hardbody, as everybody calls them, and it has the 2.4. It is a 4-cylinder 4x4, and said he has a coolant leak under the actual intake on one of the hoses. We're going to find out exactly which one it is, and I'm using my pressure tester right here. So I found the correct cap, put the pressure gauge on it. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure. I made sure it had some water in it, and you can tell that it looks like there's some stuff right there. It looks like power steering fluid coming off the power steering pump. This hose is real loose. May put another clamp on that for him as well, but I am going to set y'all down for a minute so I can apply pressure. I'll put a little bit of pressure on this. Oh yeah. Oh. Y'all hear that? See that coming out? Oh yeah. Definitely leaking. See if we can figure out exactly which hose it is. So that went down quick. Oh yeah. Also, he wants me to do an oil change and tie rod ends on this as well. So it'll be like a little video of just this truck for today. See how we can get to this hose, because that looks like that's going to be a little bit of a job. I don't want it to be too hard. So I went ahead and took the air breather off this. You're going to have two 10mm on top right here to hold it in, and they go into like two little studs on the throttle body. Then you have a hose right here, this little tiny hose, and then you have this connector on it. That's it right here, as you can see. And I do believe that we're going to go ahead and just take this upper radiator hose off too, just to give us a little bit more room right down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It looks like it's just held on with a 10mm. Oh, and there's a 10mm on the back that holds the breather down as well. Underneath here, we should be able to get in here a little bit easier. Looks like that is an 8mm, which may need an extension, but we'll see. Yeah, let me go get an extension, because that's going to be a little bit easier. I may even need a swivel. I know y'all really can't see much in here. You got one side of it off. Now let's see if we can get to the other one. Another way to get to this is actually through the passenger side fender, but either way it's kind of hard to see down in here. Trying to get where we can get a little bit of light. All right. Now we got it. I think. In this position right here, swivel is going to be your best friend. I'm just hoping that it's not seized to the pipe too tight. Like I said, I'm going to put new clamps on these things, on the new hose. Just because these little clamps like that, they are not great. Alright, yeah, it's starting to come off now. There we go. Let me grab the hose. Here's the hose. You can see it's just like a little 180 hose. And there's your problem right there. This one right here was in the front and it was spraying up, hitting the intake, causing it to ricochet off the intake, but that's the issue. So we're going to get a new one, find out what it's called. It's probably some kind of bypass hose, knowing Nissan. So we'll find it, see what it's called, and I will get you the part number and everything once I get it back. We do have the new one right there. That is the part number, so Gates 19607. And as you can see, the old one is a little shorter than the new one, so what we're going to do is I'm going to actually trim it up a little bit. I'm going to give myself just a hair more than what this is, just in case, but I'm going to trim this up real quick. I'm going to be using this hose cutter right here. It is from Irwin. As you can see, it makes nice clean cuts. Sit right there. Like I said, give myself just a little bit extra. And let me see if I can find some hose clamps that'll fit this. I should have them. Alright, so I do not have hose clamps to fit this, so I ordered some. They'll be on their way shortly. We got them from O'Reilly's. They're not a sponsor, but that's just where I got them from. And then, but while we're waiting, we're going to be go ahead and do the oil change and see if we can knock some of the suspension stuff out. So he did tie rod ends himself, but he got the wrong ones the last time. This one doesn't have a stability bar across it, I don't think. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see it. So yeah, this one doesn't have it. So he ordered the other ones, wanted me to put those on. Here's both of them. Part numbers MES 3376. And here's the other ones. I guess it's MES 3375 are the other ones. He's going to put 1040 in here just because he does have a little bit of a rattle. Filter TG 3682, that is a Fram. And then we have energy suspension polyurethane. Looks like sway bar inlets. There they are. So like I said, while we're waiting on the other stuff, we may as well go ahead and start doing this. But let me grab the correct tools to do all this, and then we'll be right back. So we have the tire off, and we're going to break these nuts right here loose. Well, that one wasn't even tight. See if we can get this one. Whole thing is just turning. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and see about pulling this one right here out. Come on. There we go. See what size these are. Big. That should work. I do believe it's just spinning. if I can put some pressure on it. I don't think that's doing anything either. There it goes. This one up here is going to be the same way. Alright, so these were the incorrect ones. So what I'm going to do is take this to the vise and put it in my vise and see if I can break this loose and see what happens. So if I get it out, I'll let y'all know. Alright, it's the next day. I could not get the tie rods out of the adjuster sleeve because they were cross-threaded pretty much. Like I even cut the nut off and everything and could not get them off. So what I did was ordered brand new ones for the guy. I called him and talked to him just to make sure that that was alright, and he said go ahead and do it. So we have these right here, got one for both sides, and there's your part number, ES2900S, Precision Parts. Let me set y'all down for a minute. Also, another thing I want to do is I'm going to actually take this power steering pump off right here so I can access the back of the hose. So you see we got new clamps on it. But there's your adjuster. So like I said, we're going to take this power steering pump off. We're going to loosen up the pulley a little bit, and then we can do the tensioner. I think I can do this one by hand. It's pretty easy to do. Alright, take the belt off. Now that we got that, we can take the actual pump bolts off, which I believe they are 12s. Yep. And you can go in through the pulleys to get these bolts. And I'm thinking there's 3 of them. Yeah. Alright. Now we got them loose. Like I said, I'm just doing this so I can get to the pipes behind there a little bit easier, and you can see a little bit more. I think it'll help y'all see exactly where I'm going to. Like, you could probably get it without taking this off. I mean, granted, it'd probably be a little harder. Thinking that should be everything. Well, there's one more right here on top. That looks like a 14. Alright, so we can see in there a lot better now. So you can see that pipe right there. Let me see if I can touch it with the wrench. There, that right there, one of the pipes. And then this little elbow piece right here comes down and over. That is the other one. So like I said, you can see that we can get to it a lot easier, and we can see what we're doing a whole lot easier right there as well. And that looks like a valve cover grommet. I don't know where that goes, but it was just sitting in there. So we'll see if we can get this in here now. Probably could even get to the hose clamps a lot easier right there. Trying to get a little bit more clearance on this because it is super tight in there. So I'm taking off the power steering bracket as well. You should have 5 bolts that hold this bracket on. Should be 3 on the passenger side, 2 on the driver. I know y'all can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, so we're through the passenger side wheel well right now, and I took the oil filter off too, just so I could get in there, and I was doing an oil change anyway. But as you can see, you got a lot more room right here. Let's see if we can get it up and around. It's just a super tight fit is what it is. And then you got this one hose that runs right there. I'll show it to you. That one right there that gets in the way also. So I'm gonna see if I can get it on there, and then if I do, I'll bring y'all back. You can see, got it on, and it is easier to start it from under the fender well, and then let me grab my pliers, or yeah, my hose pliers, so I can talk. And I use these right here to walk it on, pulling it this way, and same thing with this. I used it to pull it and walk it on that way. And then I turned the hose clamp up on this one so I could get my long screwdriver down in there, and then I turned it facing the wheel well on the other side. I'll try to see if I can get y'all in there, just so I can use my long screwdriver to tighten it up right there. So we do have that on. Now we can put everything back together up here, and I can start doing the tie rod in. So let me put everything back together up here, and then I'll bring y'all to the tie rod stuff. Alright, so got everything back together up top. Didn't put the oil filter on yet because I haven't gotten around to it, but I did assemble the tie rod assembly, I guess you could call it. But one thing to note is the little notches right there. That end right there is reverse threads, and so is this tie rod right there. So make sure you put it on the correct way, because if you don't, you will mess up the threads. That's just one thing to note. I forgot to say that whenever I was taking it apart, but like I said, somebody I think might have jammed it or something on the other one, or the threads were different or something, but it was jammed up pretty good. But like I said, I did stick it together, and I will show you the part numbers as to which tie rod goes where. Alright, so I got y'all set up where y'all can pretty much see this. I hope anyway. I got these started. And I evened the threads out just because I don't want them to run out of threads. We're just going to turn this till it falls in. Looks like it's in now. There we go. Go ahead and start the castle nuts. Find out what size they are. Yeah, figured that one was a 19. Yep, looks like they're both 19s. And they did come with cotter pins, and this upper one has a zerk fitting. Couldn't think of the name of it for a minute for some reason. And now we're going to hold this while we tighten these down. The adjuster is a 23, and if I can get them right, adjuster is a 23, and the nut is a 24. Alright. Alright. There we go. Now all I gotta do is just put some grease in this one right here. And as you can see, there's no play in these now. Like I said, the original ones, they did have play because they were the wrong ones. And so I'm gonna give y'all part numbers for the outers right here. Part number is going to be ES3375. This is a Mevotech part number. And then for the inners, part number is going to be AG0608. I will find a link on Amazon. I think you can get Mevotech from Amazon, and I'll put a link up to that for everybody so y'all have that. I'll put a link to the hose, the coolant, the tie rods, the adjuster sleeve, and oil filter for this, just so everybody has everything that we went over in the video. But this is pretty much going to end this video. Like I said, the hardest thing to do is that little hose up there. It is good to take the power steering pump, the bracket, and the oil filter off, and it'd be a good time to do an oil filter change anyway. But I'm going to put some grease in here, and that's pretty much going to end the video, like I said. And if you got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section down below. And don't forget that I'm giving the giveaway in just a couple of weeks, and the video is up. I'll put a link to that somewhere around in there, whichever way it may be on this side, I don't know. But I'll put a link up to that for everybody to go view and for you to comment on for a chance to win. But until next time, if y'all would, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And until next time, y'all have a great day.